Welcome to the 12th day, 12th day of 12 Days of Anime. And today we are reviewing, where the fuck's your copy of Ghost in the Shell?
I don't know where the, oh there it is. There's the bitch. Here's the bitch.
No, don't dare you. This is Major Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. And Ghost in the Shell.
Puppet Master.
No, it's fucking Motoko. Okay, but what we're getting at, okay, is this is Ghost in the Shell. You should have already seen this because this is a pop culture phenomenon. It revolutionized anime. It's the reason why we have the Matrix. So what more do you want from that? Okay,
I absolutely love the Matrix.
Like, there you
recently.
go.
So
I've never seen it,
when I first heard about this, I was like, I'm all on that shit.
They took heavy influences from this anime here and made a live action movie, okay? Now, a lot of people are hyped for this new live action movie that's coming out, but also a lot of people are scared because if it comes out to be shit like all the other anime movies that were live action, like Dragon Ball Evolution and all that kind of shit, it's gonna end up being a bad name on the anime, industry or whatever you want to get about. And if it becomes good, then we get more people introduced in anime and it becomes a bigger thing. But still, the point here is Ghost in the Shell. We can't really go about it. You need to go watch it, one thing. But we're going to give a good overlay of it if you're not interested just because the name is not cool. No, we'll deal with spoilers later. Okay. Ghost in the Shell deals with a group called Section 9. The Major Motoko Kusanagi is the leader of Section 9's group, which consists of Bato, Bulma, Ishikawa, Togasa, Saito,
Aramaki.
And, Aramaki is also the head of Section 9. So he deals with sending out the missions and everything, getting them up to date with their equipment. They went through cybernetics, some of them did. They sold their body to the government, so now they have to work for them to pay off their bodies.
That was the Major Bato.
Yeah, which basically their whole bodies are full cybernetic. There's no human to them but their brain. Or at least they think, because the idea of it is you're a ghost in the shell. So if you went through all of this process of prosthetics and everything, and made your body to be no longer fully human but your brain, how do you know if they did not actually remove your brain and cause it to be all cybernetic and you're just an android or a cyborg or whatever?
Well, like it's like if you're having massive brain surgery, how do you know they didn't take a lump of your brain part out?
Well, yeah, there you go. But that's more paranoid if you ever had a bad brain surgery. But still, the series deals around this terrorist called the Puppet Master, which he wasn't much. He's to a degree could be considered a terrorist for what he does, but he does hacking and everything. Since you've recently watched the movie, can you give a good explanation of what the Puppet Master per se was doing through his revolutionary?
Basically, what the Puppet Master was trying to do was he was hacking ghosts so that way he can find the perfect subject to reproduce with inside of the ghost,
Basically, kind of think of a fusion sort of deal, but not like, the stupid fusion. Oh! The way it goes about it is he's looking for the perfect being to fuse with to become a higher entity.
And that perfect being just so happens to be the Major.
Well, which leads up to that, but he doesn't know per se. He learns and meets the Major later on, but we're not going to say what happens, okay? We're not going to say if she chose to fuse with him or, didn't at all. But that is the main idea of what the story goes about. Also, it goes into more philosophical means of, telling what is your ghost, like what makes us human in general per se.
And it gets really deep in one part, and it's like you're sitting there and you're like, first time I watched it, I was like, what did I just watch? And it was way too deep.
These kind of animes like these that are psychological, like this, I want to say Blue Gender, but not Blue Gender. Perfect Blue.
Yeah.
And Evangelion. They're those kind of movies where you have to rewatch over and over, and you get little bits of extra substance that actually ties the story more together, and new stuff that you just didn't realize the first time you watch it, whether if it was the animation, which is glorious for its time. I believe this is a 1994 or 5 anime, if I am correct.
80s and 90s, somewhere in between there.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that early, but 90s, yes. Because it's this anime is directed by He was a director behind it.
Shiro Masamune?
Wait, he actually directed? I knew he made
Yeah.
the manga. He made the manga, okay. Shiro Masamune made the manga. I just didn't know if he directed or not. But it is very well done in an adaptation. There is some stuff missing, okay, but it is really well done. The characters are each unique in their own way. The voice acting, whether it's English dub or Japanese dubbed, it was very well done.
They're both good.
So I recommend either. Some people might not like the Major's voice of that time period because she goes for a more monotone vibe because she actually doesn't really show passion in this because of the idea of who she is.
Yeah.
She does joke occasionally, but it's not like a really chuckle, but it's like trying to be fun.
Yeah. Fun fact about the Puppet Master, his actual name from when Section 6 was coming in, his actual name was 2501. Project 2501. I found that pretty cool because not many projects were made in that movie.
Now, wasn't Section 6 trying to get a hold to use it for their own means?
Yes, they were trying to overthrow the government.
That's right. The one thing also that I really love about the series is how each, frame, if you go by frame, it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to see something whether it's emotional or not emotional. Like there's different kind of things you'll see throughout it, whether it's the person's face and how it conveys the image that's happening right there immediately, or if it's the scenery along with the soundtrack as you listen to it, because it has one of the most beautiful soundtracks I've ever heard. And that kind of disappointed me because if anyone's seen the trailer of the new Ghost in the Shell, the new trailer, they went for like this edgy action when all they could have just done was use the same soundtrack from the original trailer and just made that trailer more beautiful. But this is all about
what they want to do.
Great music, great soundtrack. This is actually not 2.0. 2.0, when the DVD came, it's still a good movie, but you need to watch the Arise series to kind of gain more love about it. Because if you just watch that straight away, you're just gonna be like, that was okay.
Personally, for Ghost in the Shell, I like it without the CG.
Yeah.
So it was like.
And that's why this one's really well done.
Yeah.
The CG in the 2.0 though, it was only for certain scenes to kind of emphasize that they got a budget now. They were just going over and revamping it to kind of also enhance the coloring of all of the not textures, but of the whole imagery and everything.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my words are sucking now. But
I have a question for you, Andy.
Yes.
Who is your favorite character from Ghost in the Shell?
Favorite character is this with Toko Kusanagi. I dare say she is she's the one female character that I know can kick any other female character's ass. Okay. She has cybernetics, which in one scene that you literally see the pinnacle of how strong she is, where she tries to rip a tank's, the hatch of a closed tank open with her bare hands, watching the muscles twist and turn throughout her body.
I still
was
think,
very well done animation.
I still think Bato is my favorite.
Bato.
I love Bato to death.
You know why he has the eyes, right?
So you can see if they're using the cloaks, right?
No. It was actually when he was in the Army Rangers, he used the eyes because it was for friendly fire, so he doesn't, in case, accidentally shoot one of his teammates. The eyes.
So that's why he never shot any
any
civilians.
Yeah, because he can't. And whenever he goes to about it, and there's too many civilians, it makes it hard for him to shoot because they'll walk up because in case a civilian gets in front.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is you don't learn. I don't think it states that he's along with. I don't think it was the Army Rangers, but he was with a Ranger unit in Japan. But I don't think it states it in the movie, but in the manga it does. It also states I don't know if it states the body of Major Mitoko Kusanagi either.
It does
what
state
her
it.
model is.
It states it, but it doesn't tell you what her model is. It's the top of the line cybernetics.
Yeah, but in the manga also it is the top of the line, but it is a European model. So, there was also that whole debate, about the movie and everything. But
In my opinion, I think Bato would be stronger than Kusanagi. Just saying.
I don't think so. You see how
he
he
is an
takes
older
control.
model.
You see how she takes control, and in the manga,
he is an older
hacks
model.
into him and makes him punch himself for a funny moment, and it's great because she can get into each of them and do whatever she feels like, but she's not that kind of person.
No.
Another character that is crucial, not well, he's another side character, but he's unique in his own way because he's not fully prosthetic. His name's Togusa. He actually has a wife, a daughter, if I'm correct, and
A dog.
A dog.
A dog.
A dog.
That's the important one. It's a dog.
It's a dog. Basically, Togusa, he was a cop, and then the major found him and was like, hey, join up with our section. We need good guys like you, because he was a good cop. He wasn't no corrupt cop. He did his job and he got it done.
That's what Section 9 is.
Yeah.
They want to keep the good cop.
They keep pressuring him to go full cybernetic because they don't want the risk of him actually dying and have to tell his family about that issue.
Togusa and Aramaki are the only partial humans left, right?
Yes, they do
Mostly
have some
human.
cybernetics because if you watching the movie and also in any of the others, he's able to go into communications with them without even speaking.
Yeah.
So when you comes to one of the scenes where the Major is getting ready and prepped with her rifle and everything, he is actually communicating with them, and you notice like their mouth's not moving. That's because they're using their cybernetics for it. I really dig the idea about this because it's the understanding of what truly makes us human that is very well done in this movie. Honestly, this movie, I would say is a 10 out of 10. Okay, I would say that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's a few problems with it that I would have to say is the length, and that there was content that was cut from the manga, and as we know, adaptations are never completely 100% right.
Yeah.
But for what he did, and since it was directed by the manga creator himself, Shiro Masamune, I would say this is definitely a 10. This is a beautiful. You have to take the time to sit down and enjoy it. If you're not going to take the time, you're not going to enjoy this at all.
I have to add this in. If you like The Matrix like I do, this doesn't have as much action, but it still has enough to keep you interested in whatever.
Yeah, like when the parts happen, it's you're sit back in awe of how the Major goes about her issues, and getting to also see how what's it called? There's an actual term for their the internet basis. It's not internet, but it's like where they're able to go through the stream and all that kind of stuff. I can't remember what it's called exactly, but getting to watch as they go through all that kind of stuff is very interesting in how they go about it, and also the ideals on how they connect through people and hacking and all that. It was very well done. You get more of that in the actual Ghost in the Shell standalone Second Gig and Arise series.
Yeah.
But those are really good, but Ghost in the Shell, the movie, is a must-see out of the whole thing. You need to see this movie.
I would rate it a 9.5 out of 10 because there's one thing that I couldn't get through my first time watching it. I fell asleep. This is because of the length. I fell asleep. It was also probably like 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's not even the thing about it is it's not even a 2-hour movie. The way it goes about it is there's a lot of imagery and just straight up like moments for soundtrack and getting to see the city as it kind of gives an explanation by sight of what this city is and what this modern Tokyo is.
I didn't mind that my second time watching it.
But if you're a little bit drowsy, you're gonna fall asleep.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. It was like 2 a.m. when I watched it my first time. Just warning.
It's not testosterone pumped, full action, packed, always gonna keep you on edge.
This is not a Keanu Reeves.
Sit there, enjoy, relax, and experience it.
Yeah, my parents can't do that.
If anything, movies like this and Perfect Blue, really good movies, and they fall towards each other really well.
Yeah.
But this had very good animation for its time because it was 1994. After we got Akira, which had phenomenal animation.
Yeah, it was all hand drawn. There was absolutely.
I think Akira was the first ever where they used computers. But this one is the first, well, not the first, but it's one of the ones that still stuck with the hand-drawn pictures, and that's why such imagery of the cities and everything is really well done. But since we're going to end it here, we give it, well, I give it a 10, he gives it a 9.5, which we still pretty much range around like a 9.5, so, which is still a must-watch.
Just go watch it. It's great. I love it to death.
And Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Hope
Christmas.
you enjoyed the 12 days, and hope you enjoyed all of our anime picks that we wanted to review and enjoyed. See y'all next time.
Adios.
Don't just stand there and smile.